I'm basically Scooter Braun.
Is Tim McGraw a predator?
What has Jake Gyllenhaal ever done? I am not going to go over it for you because if you're watching this video, I assume you know everything about Taylor Swift. I'm Rachel, this is Let Me in the Library, and today we are going to be vlogging for the Best Day Readathon. This is a mini readathon instead of a larger one, which takes place through all of March and has a bunch of prompts relating to Taylor Swift. It's the Tis the Damn Readathon. I am going to be trying to complete all 5 of the Best Day Readathon prompts, and also working towards my general TBR for Tis the Damn Readathon. So, I'm sorry to the people who are not Swifties, but maybe this video will convert you, or maybe you just like click off, it's fine. But I also thought it would be fun to share some little Taylor Swift related stories for you. But first off, let me talk about the prompts for the readathon. So it takes place from noon today till noon tomorrow, and I'm hoping to complete all 5 of these. So the first one is to complete any of the reading or life prompts from the Tis the Damn Readathon. I am kind of trying to take it easy on myself, so half of the prompts are reading and the other half are just like self-care types of life challenges things. So I'm hoping that will ease the pressure on me at least. And then number 2 is to what is number 2? Number 2 is to post a silly selfie and post it with the hashtag #TisTheDamnReadathon. I can do that. Number 3 is to enjoy a baked good. 4 is to check in on a friend. Number 5 is to complete a either makeup or self-care skin routine or something. So I think I can do all 5 of these pretty easily within the 24 hours. Right now, it is basically 2 o'clock. I've been listening to Taylor Swift this entire time. I actually woke up early today and I did a little bit of a self-care thing. Well, okay, early is a stretch. I woke up today. I got this nice fancy coffee, and I really like to have freshly brewed coffee, and I'm so used to using a K-cup. When I was trying to film the vlog footage for this, I literally forgot what I was doing, where I was like, how do I do this? And I started putting the beans into the filter directly, I didn't have to grind them. Slowly but surely I figured it out. Also enjoyed some waffles this morning, and I also started reading The Poppy War. I think I'm going to be trying to tackle the morally gray protagonist prompt for Tis the Damn Readathon with The Poppy War. I also am trying to do the 15 prompt from Fearless for reading a book that's in the young adult genre by completing my reread of A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I just kind of picked this up because I realized I was trying to read the sequel and I don't remember anything that happened because I also read both The Poppy War and A Song of Wraiths and Ruin 2 years ago. Let me just tell you a little bit about each of the books. The Poppy War is an epic fantasy adult series, and it follows this young war-orphaned girl named Rin, and she, against all odds, gets into this really prestigious military school that trains people to become war generals and stuff, but she's super ruthless and way more than anybody else because she's been through the most, and she's been through the most hardship beyond anybody else who has basically trained for this their entire lives, and meanwhile she is I've had nothing, and if I fail out of here, I'm gonna go back to the worst life possible, so I don't have any other options. I'm gonna be the best of the best. So I love that about her, and she's definitely very morally gray because as the story progresses, you kind of see how her loyalties shift, and she's really all about, she's in it for herself, and she doesn't really care about, doing the right thing. She's just I just need to survive. I really appreciate that about a protagonist, that we don't have somebody who's a total Mary Sue all the time, somebody who really genuinely is yeah, I mean, I want to live, so whatever, I just want to live, that's all I care about, so you gotta appreciate the hustle. A Song of Wraiths and Ruin is about these 2 young people. There's this young boy named Malik, and he is a refugee, and he is trying to travel into the city with his sisters, and his youngest sister ends up getting a wish from somebody who was telling a story, and they were oh, you won this prize, you get a wish. And so she tries to make a wish to oh, I want to go into the city, and it comes true, but because she got a gift of magic, this, I think it's the faceless god or something like that, or the faceless king, I don't know, but somebody approaches them and he's you can't just get whatever you want on my land, if you receive a gift of magic, then I take something in return because this is my land. So he takes Malik's youngest sister as his prisoner or whatever, and he's stop, okay, let's make a deal.
I'll do whatever you want, and in exchange, you give me my sister back. And so he's like, okay, fine, I want you to go kill the princess, because her whole lineage is based off of like this much older woman who basically like betrayed him. And then meanwhile, the princess is she likes to like sneak out of the castle all the time. Her name is Karina, and she will go and like challenge people to, I think it's not the lute, is it? She plays an instrument and she like challenges bards to play, and then she'll always beat them and she'll get a bunch of money. But she is the princess, so she is very recognizable. She has this like silver hair that only the royal family has, so she always has to hide it if she sneaks out. They're about to prepare for this big festival called Solstasia, I think. And this is like a really big festival thing, and all these people come from all over the world and they compete as champions in this big competition. Love competitions. But she ends up like feeling like, oh, I'm not meant to be in this position. And she had won this book in one of her competitions with the lute or whatever with somebody, and she won this book that has a ritual in it for resurrection. And she's like, oh, maybe I should bring someone back from the dead who could rule in my place because they want me to like do all this stuff. And so she thinks like, maybe I should bring somebody back from the dead. But one of the things that you need for that is the heart of a king. So she basically is like, I have to like run this whole festival thing, and I'm going to make the prize for the competitors be my hand in marriage, so that way if they marry me, then I can kill them, and then I would have the heart of a king. That's like the whole thing. So now these like two people inadvertently are kind of going to be like set up to try to have to kill each other, enemies to lovers thing. I read this a long time ago, like I said, 2 years ago, and I really loved it, and I really hope I still love it because I've recently been reading a lot of books that I previously rated 5 stars and really enjoyed, and every time I have reread almost every single one of them, I've given them a lot lower of a rating. Not like 1 star or anything, but I just feel like I don't feel the same way that I did when I first read them. It just feels like my joy is dying. So I don't know if I don't have taste anymore or what, but I really hope that this one holds up. And so far it does. I'm still really enjoying it. So fingers crossed. And then I'll move into the second book eventually, which I'll finally know what's going on in that book.
We'll see what other kinds of things I can complete along the way. But first, I will give you a little Taylor Swift story to start off this vlog a little bit. I'm no stranger to parodies. Weird Al is not a stranger in this house. Not like we know him personally, really. I turned a lot of Taylor Swift songs into parodies. They're very embarrassing to look back on, but also, like, in the way that I can ignore cringe, they're a lot of fun. They're just a lot of fun that they exist in as a part of my life. The one I remember most clearly is called It's Not a Ferrari, and it was a parody of You're Not Sorry. What more do I really need to say? Oh, and Tell Me Why became I Need Pie. Genius. I was just so smart. And then also at some point I was like, wow, I'm so good at writing parodies. I think I should also write like real songs. I tried writing my own songs for several years. And I don't really think they were that good or anything, but I remember one song I was like, wow, oh my god, this sounds so good. I'm so smart. This is such a genius song. And I remember singing it for a friend, and she was like, wait, that sounds kind of familiar. And I was like, no, it's totally original. No, it wasn't. I literally unconsciously had copied the melody of The Story of Us, and I just put that as the main part of my verses up until the chorus. I don't know how I didn't even see that. Just totally went over my head, and I was like, I'm so smart. And meanwhile, I was like, oh, I think I'm a fraud. Like, I'm a thief. I'm basically Scooter Braun. Anyway, let's get going with the rest of the readathon. I will check in with you as I do some things, and yeah, let's do that vlog.
miniature story for you about Taylor Swift. I listened to the song Tim McGraw when it came out, and if you know the lyrics, it goes, "When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song, the way we dance, the one we dance to all night long," etc. and so forth. So I was like, is Tim McGraw a predator who is preying on Taylor Swift, who wrote this song when she was like 16 or something? And Tim McGraw is like significantly older than her. And I was like, I can't believe that Tim McGraw groomed Taylor Swift. This is terrible. I can't believe, and people just keep supporting him. And then at some point I saw that he performed something with Taylor, so I was like, are they cool now? And I kind of just thought it was maybe like Taylor Swift met Tim McGraw once and they danced together, and maybe she had like a little schoolgirl crush on him and he like took it too far and it was totally his fault. This, of course, as all stories go, with me, this is not true. And I discovered this about a year ago or something like that. And I realized that she's just saying to the person, when you think about Tim McGraw, I hope that you think of my favorite song, When We Dance to All Night Long, etc. and so forth. And I was like, oh. I just jumped to conclusions a lot. So, Tim McGraw, I guess you're still okay, but got my eye on you. Hey, so let me give you a little update on what today has been. I feel like as far as reading goes, I'm not making a super great amount of progress, but I honestly feel like this has been a nice day of self-care. I've spent the time with family. I've got to eat things I really want to enjoy eating and play some games. We played Game of Thrones Clue. We watched Game of Thrones and we did a puzzle. And just overall, like, I got to spend a lot of time with people that I love and have a nice day. I also worked out today, which I feel like I never get to do, and it always makes me feel a lot better. It's just like I have more energy and everything for the rest of the day, so I'm really happy I got to do all that stuff today. And I feel like generally that's been, it's been a pretty successful day as far as the prompts go. So I'm going to count that as my life prompt for you need to calm down. I feel very calm, and I feel like it's exactly what I needed because a lot of the times throughout the week, I just feel very stressed. Number 2 was to post a silly selfie, which I did. It's on my Instagram. I posted that with the hashtag. And then number 3 was to eat a baked good. And I did that. We made brownies and they were really delicious. Number 4 was to check in on a friend, which I also did. I feel like it's more private, so I'm not really going to like put it into this vlog, but I did do that. And then number 5 is to do some skincare or makeup routine. I am going to do some skincare now before I go to sleep. And I think I'll also do some more reading in bed and finish editing a video I've been working on for a little while now before I go to sleep, and then I'm gonna pass out. So it's daylight savings time, and I realize that we're springing forward, so we're gonna lose an hour of sleep, and since the readathon is from noon until noon, it's technically only a 23-hour readathon, but I think it's fine. I'm not gonna stay up really late, but I am gonna just wake up with enough time to do something for the rest of the readathon. I really don't want to end this vlog where I basically haven't finished a book, so I'm gonna at least try to finish A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I think our Poppy War live show has officially been moved. What can I tell you that's Taylor Swift related? I did see Taylor Swift the first time she ever performed at Madison Square Garden. I went to that concert and it was really great, and I feel like that's when I really fell in love with her as a creator and as a person, because she was just so cool and she was so personable and she somehow connected with every single person in the stadium, it felt like. And she had this look on her face when she walked out and saw all of these people, and it was just like this pure, genuine wonder, and she's so likable. And that was just like one phase of her life, but it's really hard not to love her, seeing the way that she was and the way that she could talk to the crowd and, make you feel. And of course, I loved her music when, I had listened to her first 2 albums, which is basically everything she was performing. I loved all of that stuff, and it was just so amazing to see her and just geek out about it. So I'm gonna go to do my skincare and read a little bit before bed and cuddle up in bed because it's really, really cold today, and go to sleep. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!
it's the next day. I finished the readathon, basically. It's past noon at this point. And I did actually complete another Tis the Damn Readathon prompt last night. I did a breathing meditation before going to sleep, which counts for breathe, which is another prompt. I also only have 3 hours left of my audiobook for A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I'm still really enjoying it, and I feel like it's different once you know what happens, you know? So I know everything that's about to go down, and when I first read it, my heart dropped because, like, oh my god, when certain things happen, it blew me away. I have another Taylor Swift story for you. So back when I was in high school, I enjoyed Taylor Swift a lot, but it was definitely around the time where a lot of people just don't talk about the things that they like to do because you'll get ridiculed for anything. It's high school. It's brutal out here. It's the land before feminism. So if a woman is being successful doing anything, it's just a lot easier to tear her down than to appreciate her successes. And I really didn't know how my friends in high school were going to handle the fact that I liked something popular, so I just didn't talk about it at all. I mean, that's what's ridiculous, actually, is, like, I was so openly, like, a fan of manga and anime, which was, like, arguably way more of, like, an outcast type of thing to enjoy. And then I was like, I'm afraid people will know that I like Taylor Swift. So that's ridiculous. Last year, during Friendsgiving with those same people, to do PowerPoint presentations, they're supposed to be just fun little things where you just say, like, here are which birds my friends remind me of. I was so stressed. Somebody printed out rubrics. I was never as stressed as I was in my life. This is not what it's supposed to be. I still ended up having a good time at the end of it, but the palpitations in my heart, believe me, they were there. Here's my presentation. Functions under catastrophic cachopsia, justification against collapsia, endorphin growth, yearning lyrically, loss, experiencing neo-hubris, and absent love. More simply, you could just say, it's Taylor Swift's All Too Well 10-minute version and how it fucked me up. This was right after All Too Well had just dropped. And so I talked about her re-recordings. I am not going to go over it for you because if you're watching this video, I assume you know everything about Taylor Swift. I actually literally went into full thesis-worthy analysis. So I talked about how it shattered records, and there was this whole feeling that, you know, we look back on things and we think that something was better than it was, which is collapsia, or we look back on something and think that it was way worse than it actually was, which is cachopsia. Is it cringe to like popular things? Is something that's popular actually as bad as people say it is, or do they just look back on it and think that it was really bad for other reasons, like controversial hot takes, which lead you to more views, which lead you to some sense of validation, and then you just keep doing things like that, and that kind of draws in from cachopsia, and it's an easy way to get those clicks. And then at the same time, you know, this is something that falls upon fans of Taylor Swift perhaps seeing something as way worse than it was because they feel, you know, indignation on her behalf that somebody treated her very poorly, and I'm sure that it actually probably was bad, but maybe we see it as way worse than it actually was, or people think that it was better than it actually was because they don't believe Taylor Swift. So in revealing her side of the story with her matured skills in songwriting, she has made, rightfully so, Jake Gyllenhaal public enemy number one. Probably because he was a total asshole the whole time, but who knows? We just don't know. We really don't know. We come back to our main points. What hasn't Taylor Swift done? Okay, she's hot. Number 2, she has like 100 Grammys. Number 3, she adds in puzzles to hint at her music, which means she actually gives a shit about her fans. She's really cool in that way. I really, really appreciate that she does stuff like that. She has the whole like track 5 thing going for her. She really thinks about what her fans want and she makes that happen. And she makes like those vault puzzles. Like nobody does that, okay? It's only Taylor Swift. And she also literally revolutionizes the music industry like every 5 years. Like she just does something crazy that nobody else is doing around here and she just changes the game forever. Meanwhile, what has Jake Gyllenhaal ever done, okay? Number 1, he hurt Taylor Swift when she was 20. Number 2, he did not go to Taylor Swift's birthday party after promising to be there when she was turning 21 and told a 20-year-old Taylor Swift that she was too tall and not funny and made fun of her dreams and disrespected her. Also, he still dates 20-year-olds. He's 40. And last of all, and most devastatingly, he doesn't believe in showers. So why are we even still talking about this man? In conclusion, I have my entire presentation name, and in other words, fuck Jake Gyllenhaal. That is the end of my little presentation, my TED Talk. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much. She wears high heels, I wear sneakers. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers, dreaming about the day when you wake up and find that what you were looking for has been here the whole time. Hope you know this ain't easy for me. it's never simple, never easy. Never a clean break, no one here to save me. I can't find the, like, lyrics to the parody, but I'm gonna see if I just remember them off the top of my head, because I used to sing this all the time, so. Little concert moment for you. All this time I was waiting, hoping you would drive around. This is so embarrassing. I've been waiting by the curb every time, and all you do is let me down. You can see it's a Ferrari, but I don't believe you, baby, like I did before. It's not a Ferrari, no, no. It's a Camaro. That'd be a little bit fun to try just playing some songs on the piano, Taylor Swift themed. I'm running out of ideas, so I'm almost done with the song Wraiths and Ruin at least. I've been listening to it while I've been doing other things, but I guess I'll try to play 'Tis the Damn Season. I normally don't really know how to play stuff, and I just kind of like figure out the melody, so we'll try it together. I mean, it's fine for like 2 minutes of trying, right?
Get well.
Hey, so, I basically extended this readathon for the rest of the day. That was really dramatic. I basically extended the rest of this vlog readathon thing for the rest of the day, just because I was almost finished with the Song of Wraiths and Ruin, and I just wanted to actually update you a little bit on it. But I did manage to finally complete it, and I am now reading the sequel, which is A Psalm of Storms and Silence, and I still really enjoyed A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. It was not 5-star material like it was the first time that I read it, so it is yet another reread that has dropped a little bit in the ratings. But I think this just means that my taste has changed a bit from 2 years ago. There were a lot of things that I used to really, really, really love, and now I still like them. It's not like I hate them, but I guess I look for different things now in fiction, and I've read a lot of books since then, so I don't really feel bad about that. I think it's just growth. I still really enjoyed it enough that I was like, let's go. We're jumping right into the next book, and it's the end of the duology, and I'm excited about this one. I remember this being a really highly anticipated read of mine because one of the protagonists, he's such a sweetheart, and like that character is so hard not to love. Like, he's just really a sweetie. Back in the world and immersed enough that I'm ready to go with book 2, which is a little longer, and I have heard mixed things about it, but I'm really hoping that I enjoy it. I think that's basically the end of this reading vlog. Got a lot done over this weekend, and I feel like for the most part, I also just got my goals accomplished as far as chilling and doing some self-care. And it's really something that I don't normally take time for, so this was exactly what I needed, and I'm glad I had like a vlog to keep myself accountable for stuff like that, and it makes me feel good. So I'm excited to finish out the rest of the 'Tis the Damn Readathon, and I don't really think I'll be vlogging the rest of the 'Tis the Damn Readathon, but I'm sure I will be talking about it in other videos. That's it for me, I think. I'm Rachel. This is Let Me in the Library. I'll see you next time. Bye!